Dominic Cummings was the intellectual force behind both Brexit and Boris Johnson, and his removal from Downing Street could result in Britain being worse off than before the 2016 referendum, a think tank boss has claimed. Ben Harris-Quinney, chairman of the Bow Group, also pointed the finger at Carrie Symonds, Mr. Johnson's fiancée, as the key figure in the plot to oust the former Vote Leave campaign director, along with Downing Street Director of Communications Lee Cain. Mr. Cummings left Downing Street by the front door clutching a cardboard box on Friday, just days after Mr. Cain was also removed from his post. Both are understood to have been fired by the Prime Minister, who is said to have been enraged after being told they had undermined the 32-year-old, who is the mother of Mr. Johnson's son, Wilfred. Mr. Harris-Quinney told Express.co.uk he was deeply concerned at the consequent loss to the government, and to Brexit. He explained, Dominic Cummings was the intellectual force behind this government and its agenda to get Brexit done, but also to reform British politics to put Westminster back in touch with the public. For the past decade, many Conservatives have been concerned that the Conservative Party not only no longer stands for conservatism, but stands against it. Mr. Harris-Quinney suggested the Conservative Party's handling of Brexit over the past 4 years had led him and many others to question whether, while the Tories had eventually accepted that Britain needed to leave the bloc, their implementation of the process would be in name only. Without the combative 48-year-old guiding the process, Mr. Harris-Quinney feared the whole process would be derailed. He said, Dom Cummings' presence at the center of the government's policy program gave Brexiteers confidence that Brexit would take place in a meaningful way. By contrast, his loss makes post-Brexit Britain more likely to be very similar to a Britain inside the EU, and possibly worse. Mr. Harris-Quinney also had strong words for Ms. Symonds, who is thought to have clashed with Mr. Cummings during his time working in Number 10, with reports surfacing today that she and friends staged a victory party after he left his job.